Okay, awesome. So we are recording. We've got Katie Hoeg from UNC. She's also a Long Island native, which is why we got her on the Long Island Lacrosse Journal. Katie, how you doing right now going through all this?
Yeah, it's definitely weird. Definitely unprecedented circumstance. Like it's March, we should be in the middle of our season and getting ready to prepare for the different teams that we're playing. But I mean, I think out of all of this right now, I'm just feeling pretty thankful for the journey that I've had so far. And if anything, like this situation just emphasizes that gratitude. But I mean, it's definitely weird because we found out that we were going online, that the ACC was suspended, and that the spring season was canceled all within like a day. So a lot has happened in this past week. And I mean, we were kind of instructed to, go home, be with your families after we found out about the NCAA canceling all spring sports. But I mean, it's a heartbreaking time for like the seniors who had a lot of like their lives set up already. But like for me, I'm just really thankful that the NCAA is giving another year of eligibility, because I'm definitely gonna take them up on that, because I mean, I know that like my story wasn't supposed to end yet, so I don't think I could continue on without knowing how that story ends. So for me, I'm really excited for us to see what the next chapter kind of has for me. But I mean, a lot of people who aren't in my situation, my heart breaks for them, because I know everyone's kind of in their unique circumstances right now. But I mean, it's such a weird time, especially since our team was um, having a lot of success, and to see that just suddenly cut short, it's just the weirdest feeling.
Yeah, do you feel as though because maybe because of your team's success, but also because of like how much lacrosse is a part of your life, you feel as though like, hey, it just can't end this way. Like, no way.
Yeah, exactly. Like I was talking to my parents about it. I'm like, I didn't work my whole life for this moment just for it to be taken away like that.
Hmm.
And I worked my whole life to win a national championship, to be on the biggest stage possible, and I just could, like, I owe it to the like little girl who put in all that time, that put in all that work. I can't, like, I have to do this for her. Like I have to see this through. And I know that's like how some of my other fellow seniors feel like. And I'm not ready to say goodbye yet, so that definitely played a huge factor in me just wanting to return.
Yeah, that's really cool that that's your perspective, and just like internally that's your drive and what you want, because I just feel like so many other people like kind of selfishly want to see that too from someone like you who just was having such an amazing senior year, and then also like your career has been so impressive. So that's gonna be really cool for like lacrosse fans. I'm sure coaches are excited about that, etc. So that's good stuff. You want to take us back a little bit and talk about your upbringing and like where you grew up, what was the community kind of like, and then just talk about like your family influence on getting a stick in your hand, all that good stuff.
So I think I started playing lacrosse probably in second grade, and it's kind of funny because my dad actually got me into it, because he's like, maybe you can get a scholarship one day. Like my older cousins, like were familiar with lacrosse, but in Mattituck, I mean, lacrosse was like not popular at all. So like from second to sixth grade, I'd just play on like the club team, and I was pretty good like for a club team, but I mean, I had no idea like what the competition was outside of our like little shell. So my parents were like, you know what, you're pretty good. Like maybe we should try lay out for some travel teams and see how that works out. So I ended up trying, like I did a little more local club team called South Bay that does not exist. It existed for like one summer. And I tried out for Yellow Jackets, and I actually ended up making the second team the first time I tried out. So that was kind of a reality check. Like, all right, maybe you're not as good as we thought, but like, also it's just some motivation to keep on working. And by seventh grade, I got moved up to the A team, and then I started to play on our varsity team. This was like the second year that our varsity had a team, so it was very fairly new program, and we were not good at all. I think my first two seasons we won one game each season, so it was really hard. You can imagine, like I think we would lose games like 18-1. So definitely humbling experience, but I was lucky enough to play with, we had a great group of younger girls that were really motivated and really wanted to make something out of Mattituck Lacrosse. And I had a cousin, she was my age too, and she was really into lacrosse. So like each year we were like, we just got to keep getting better. We just got to keep getting better. And then I think by like 9th or 10th grade, my dad, he became like a volunteer assistant. So he was pivotal too, and just like pushing the program, like, we need to
Hmm.
be more committed. Like, if you guys want to be good, if you want to win more than one game, like, something has to change. So, I mean, by the time I was a 10th grader, we ended up going to playoffs. So, like, it's just crazy to think about how, I mean, they won states, like, the
Yeah.
past 2 years. So, like,
Yep.
if you told me that in, like, 8th grade, I would have been like, no way is that possible.
Yeah, it's interesting the dichotomy to see like you be a part of building a program from like literally like the ground up, and
Yeah.
now like you're just playing for such an established program where like that groundwork was built. And I'm sure most of your teammates, not to put words in their mouth, probably came from programs where like they didn't have to go through that of like losing 18-1, winning one game a season. You kind of went through it, and now that's probably why you're so appreciative of like just where you're at, right?
Yeah, no, that's the reason why I honestly like went to UNC. Like that was a huge factor for me. I'm like, I want to win. Like I know like it's not easy at all to win. So being a part of a program that is so established is something that I'm not used to, but like something I want to be a part of. And like when I was being recruited, I talked to UNC's head coach Jenny Levy kind of about it. Like I'm like, I come from a unique kind of position. My high school team is not good. I'm literally forced to do everything like part of my team. And I think that makes me part of the player that I am today, because building a program is something that I was so lucky to be a part of, because like you said, like UNC is established, like they don't need that help, but it did give me like a unique perspective coming in.
That's cool. Who are some of your mentors and coaches that helped kind of shape you in high school, youth, all the way through high school?
Um, I've had so many coaches, but like honestly, the most important coach that I've ever had is my dad. Like he has held me to like the standard that he knew that I would be able to achieve, and he saw my greatest potential, like even though I didn't see it in myself. And like he was definitely pushed me to be the best that I can be. And when I felt like giving up or like whatever, I just wanted to, like, for a high school season when I wanted to give up because we weren't winning,
Hmm.
he kind of kept me focused and made me fall in love with the sport, that I'm still in love with today. So like I honestly owe everything to him.
That's awesome. And you said he was a volunteer. Obviously, he helped build up the youth program, and then he was a volunteer assistant on the varsity program too.
Yeah, so he started volunteering, I think, when I was either freshman and sophomore in high school, because he was like, all right, I like, you want to be the best, like I'm gonna help you, I'm gonna help this team, like we're gonna get to where you want it to be. And like, yeah, he was my club coach all growing up, so he did like the youth leagues and stuff, and he still volunteers and helps out today.
Yeah, that's really cool. Yeah, it's amazing what Mattituck Lacrosse is. Like I was talking to Coach Maloney about it, and like because your sisters have recently been a part of their successes, like
Yeah.
it's really in like an amazing place, and it's just kind of like
Hmm.
it's continuing to go that way, which is awesome.
Yeah,
Um,
Coach
so
was great too. Like he really brought in like an awesome work ethic and mentality that just gave the program that extra oomph that it needed to
yeah,
really be successful. So he was also like an amazing addition to the program.
yeah, definitely. It's amazing like how obviously you're starting to see the impact of like like your dad's involvement's huge, but then you get like high school coach, because not every program unfortunately has them that like
Mhm.
has the ability to sustain it because they're passionate about it, and they do a little bit more than that is demanded of them, and like you see the success. It's definitely a team effort, right, to like
Yeah,
to
for
get
sure.
a program to where it is today. So you talked about you played you played club growing up, you played for your dad and within your town program. Like what was your recruiting, like how'd you find UNC, like how'd you kind of go about that?
So being part of the Yellow Jackets was huge in terms of recruiting, because we did a lot of summer tournaments and stuff. And I think it was like probably the fall before we were about to be heavily recruited. I met with one of the Yellow Jacket directors, Tracy Weiner, and then she kind of just helped me look through all of the coaches and like, this is kind of the steps you should take when wanting to be recruited. Like, cause I mean, I was the oldest of four. I had no idea what I was about to be getting myself into. And I mean, that summer I just kind of did my best in every tournament. And then coaches started to reach out to my Yellow Jackets coach and things started to fall into place. And I would go to camps and try to get as much exposure as I could to all of these coaches that maybe like didn't see me play in the summer.
Sure.
So yeah, it was definitely a crazy summer, but it all obviously worked out.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. Can you just talk a bit about now, like your college experience? Like, I think people on the surface get to see you guys on TV now, which is really cool. Like competing on a weekly basis, they see highlights, but maybe talk about some of the things that people wouldn't normally get to know about, like the experience of like a UNC student athlete.
Mm-hmm. It's literally been a dream come true, honestly. Like being part of our team, we have a lot of fun and we work really hard. It's been some of the hardest days that I can imagine, just like putting in all the training and the conditioning and all of that stuff. But like it is so worth it. Like at the end of the day, when you can play lacrosse with your best friends, like we just cultivate such an inclusive environment and remember that like we're so passionate about the sport and like, yes, it is a sport. We should be having fun every single day. And that's kind of the mentality that we try to take. And like, it's funny, like our saying this year was we get to, like, this isn't something that we're forced to do. Like, we're so lucky that we get to be out here every day and like compete against the best players in the country. Like,
yeah.
And that's something that I wanted to do. Like when I committed to UNC, I'm like, I want to play against the best defenders. I want to shoot against the best goalies. And that's exactly what I get to do. So like the team environment is just so amazing. And yeah, we have a lot of fun.
That's cool. It's kind of like the opposite of like we have to. It's like,
Yeah.
no, we get to do this because it's a privilege, and we chose to be here, and it's also like I think it puts more emphasis a little bit on like the process of like getting to that national championship, which you guys obviously were working towards, as opposed to just being like, we're gonna just, even if it's miserable, we're just gonna get through this because we have to, and hopefully we get there.
Right.
But that's really cool. Did you feel as though there was something special about this specific team before things kind of got cut short?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, ever since day one, I was just like, this team is going to be special. And maybe it's because I'm a senior and maybe it's because it's my last shot, but like I am like, everyone was so like inclusive and like there's like no grades, there's no hierarchy, like you are who you are and like we will accept you no matter what. And it was hardworking, but like what I was saying, like fun. And it is kind of funny that we chose that saying this year to motivate us, because now we're like, we would do anything to go back and like go through those hard moments, go through those hard conditioning days, because like we get to do that. Like now we're all at home, like inside, like there's nothing we wouldn't give to be back to where we were.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's definitely kind of funny, but yeah, this team was really special. So that's what's a shame, to like know that we worked all year for this and to have it taken away, but it is what it is at this point.
No, you're making the most of the situation, and it's and you're approaching it like thoughtfully and positively, which is great, because some people unfortunately like aren't handling it the same way, but it is what it is. We work with Epic Lacrosse a lot on the LILJ. Do you use their stick too for how do you like using it?
Yeah, it's really cool. So we have like the 15-degree heads, which like now looking back, I'm like, I can't even go back to the 10-degree because it's just so different. But I mean, I love my stick. It was definitely like a change, but I could definitely see a difference in terms of like just overall ball protection, cradling, just comfortability with like the ball on your stick. But yeah, it's awesome. I love them.
Do you have like any like traditions or do you have like a special connection with your stick where it's like, I need this a certain way? Are you particular in certain ways? Like what's that like?
I used to, when I was in high school, like think it was funny to like put my stick like in my bed and like tuck it in with me. But now I like kind of like grew up from that. I don't really have any rituals, like I definitely, like before a game day, like I definitely like make sure everything is tied like the exact way that I want it to be, so I'm not like stressed out about it. But I know one of my biggest flaws is I probably don't know anything about stringing. So like I literally don't know any of the terminology, but they do a great job and I trust them. But yeah, I think just on game day, making sure everything is the way it's supposed to be. Like I would wait until game day, but that's all I
That's
can think of.
Yeah, well, like if you're not like big into the stringing, it's good to have like good technology on your side because it's like you can lean on it a little bit. It's kind of
Exactly.
like, hey, you're not the
Exactly.
best driver, but my car's good, so like I know if I go out there on the road, I'm gonna be okay. Let me see.
Right.
Um,
Exactly.
Cool. So we have about a couple like 2 minutes left here. I always like to leave it like because naturally our audience they're we have girls who are in high school, middle school, girls who just picked up sticks, and I think especially your program and who you are and the success you've had. Um, oh, actually, I forgot to mention. So like you're now the all-time points leader, which is really cool at UNC. Who do you attribute that to? I want to know like how you feel as though you got to that point, which is a tremendous honor.
Um, 100% my teammates. Like whether like I have a lot of assists, and it's no like surprise that they're the ones who are finishing the ball for me. And like I don't think I could have done this at any other program. Like just the people that surround me, like I said before, like they're literally the best. Like
Mhm.
they make me look really good. And I mean that like I really couldn't have done it without them. And like this is just all like a reflection on the type of players and the type of people that they are. So all my attributions go to them.
That's awesome. Well, that's like a selfless way to approach it, and obviously it takes a lot to develop the skills and the IQ and the awareness to be successful and get that many points at your level. But it's nice that you kind of credit the people that kind of helped you get there because it's a team sport. You're not playing tennis right now, so that's cool. Yeah, so kind of going back to the original thought, where we like to leave it is just one piece of advice for a girl that maybe looks up to you and wants to just play college lacrosse one day or get to that next level, whatever that next level is. Like, what would that be for them?
I think it's just to have a lot of courage. I think it takes a lot of courage to keep practicing, keep fighting, even when people, doubt you, when you lose games, when you don't play as great as you can, and just putting in that extra work when, nobody's watching. And I think even when I was like a seventh grader, like winning one game per year, it's humbling. It's not the best experience, but to have the courage to keep chasing your dreams, like even when they might not seem possible, like everything falls into place.
Where does your courage come from? Like when you're trying to get through adversity?
Um, Probably my family, like my younger sisters, my brother, my parents, like everything that they've given me and all their support. I'm like, if you can't do it for yourself, at least do it for them. So that's a lot of where my courage comes from. And like now being at the highest level, just the courage, like I've been saying, like to those younger girls, to me as a younger girl, like you didn't sacrifice all of that to just be average. Like you have to keep going for them.
Awesome. Well, Katie, we really appreciate your time. You did an amazing job, and we wish you nothing but success over the next year or so.
Thank you so much.